The only true home. I am an old man now. My hair is gray and my face has many lines, but I remember my teenage years very well. I often think about those days. I can never forget the taste of my home. It is not just the food, like the warm bread from the old baker. It is the taste of the air, the water, and all the memories. I remember the small streets, where everyone knew my own name. We did not have very much, but we all shared what we had. Our doors were always open for a neighbor or for a good friend. The sun there felt warmer, or maybe it was just my young heart. The songs of the birds in the morning sounded much sweeter, too. Life was very simple, but it was a life that was full of soul. I worked with my hands in the fields next to my old father. He taught me about the land, the rain, and the patient seasons. He said our roots were in this soil, and we belonged to it. But my heart was young, and it was full of many big dreams. I looked at the maps of the world, and I wanted to see more. I dreamed of big cities and a new life with more opportunity. My friends told me stories of a land across the big ocean. They said the streets were made of gold and life was very easy. I listened to their words, and a seed of desire began to grow. I wanted a better life, with a bigger house and a nice car. I thought that money and new things would make me very happy. I did not understand what true happiness really meant back then. The decision to leave my home was the hardest one of my life. My mother cried, and she held me for a very, very long time. My father gave me his old watch, and he did not say a word. His silence was louder than any word he could have ever said. I saw the deep sadness in his eyes, and I felt a sharp pain. But I was young, and my dream was much stronger than my pain. I promised them I would write letters, and I would come back soon. I promised I would not forget them or the land of my birth. I made many promises that day, both to them and to myself. I arrived in a new country with a suitcase and a big dream. The buildings here were so tall they seemed to touch the clear sky. Everything was so different, so clean, and so very organized. I found a good job very quickly, and I made a lot of money. I bought a brand new car and I rented a very nice apartment. On the outside, my life looked perfect, like the picture in my dream. The people here were very polite, but they were also very busy. They always said hello, but they never stopped to have a chat. Everyone lived in their own world, behind their closed front doors. The food was different. It was good, but it had no memory. It did not taste like my mother's cooking or the bread I knew. It filled my stomach with food, but it did not fill my soul. In the beginning, I was very excited by all the new things. I loved the fast pace of the city and the feeling of success. I told myself that I was happy, and I had made the right choice. I sent money back home to my family to help them out. I wanted to show them that my big journey was a great success. I wanted them to be very proud of me and my brand new life. But after some time, a strange feeling started to grow in me. It was a quiet sadness that I could not give a name to. It came in the evenings when I was alone in my nice apartment. I had everything that I wanted, but I felt that I had nothing. My big apartment was very silent. It was not a real home. It was just a place to sleep, not a place to really live. I missed the sound of my language being spoken on the streets. I missed the familiar faces of the people in my old village. I missed the feeling of knowing that I truly belonged somewhere. One day, I was walking in a park, and I saw a big family. They were having a picnic, and they were laughing and singing. They reminded me of my own family, so many long miles away. I sat on a bench, and I watched them for a very long time. A tear rolled down my face, and then another, and another. I finally understood the name of the deep sadness in my heart. It was the feeling of being a stranger in a foreign country. It was the pain of being a leaf that was cut from its own tree. It was the deep and silent ache that we call our homesickness. This new country gave me a job, and it gave me a lot of money. But it could not give me back my past or my old identity. It could not give me the feeling of being truly at home. I realized that home is not a place with a big house or car. Home is where your heart feels safe and your soul can rest. Home is the place where people know you and they love you. The streets here were not made of gold. They were made of concrete, and they were cold, and they were hard, just like my new life. I was rich in my pocket, but I was very poor in my spirit. I started to look at old photos of my family and my village. I would touch the faces in the pictures, and I would remember. I remembered the warmth of the sun and the taste of the water. My father was right when he said that our roots were in our soil. I had tried to plant myself in a new and a different ground, but my roots were not taking. They were just drying up slowly. A better life is not always about having a lot more things. Sometimes a better life is a simple life with a lot of love. It is a life with connection and a strong sense of belonging. I understood that I could live in this country for 50 years. I could learn the language perfectly and know all of its ways. But it would never be my true home. It would never be my soul. My homeland is like my mother. It is a part of who I am. I can leave it for a long time, but I can never forget it. The connection is always there, deep inside of my own heart. I learned a very hard lesson on my long journey for a dream. The dream I was chasing was a shadow. It was not real at all. The real treasure was the one that I had left behind at home. Now I know that the world is big and has many beautiful places, but for every person, there is only one place called a home. It is the place where your story begins and where it will end. No amount of money can ever buy the feeling of your home. No big city can replace the comfort of your own small village. No new friend can replace the love of your own dear family. I spoke with other people who had also left their own homes. They all had the same story and the same sadness in their eyes. We were all like lonely boats in a very big and wide ocean. We had all a better situation, but not a better real life. We had forgotten that the heart needs more than just a full wallet. The heart needs to have roots, and it needs to have a safe place. Some people can make a new home in a different country. They are strong, and they can grow new roots in a foreign soil. But for me, my old roots were too deep and too very strong. I'm not saying that leaving your home is always a bad thing. It is good to see the world. and it is good to learn new things, but you must always remember where you have come from. Your homeland is your anchor in the big storm of your life. It keeps you steady, and it gives you a direction to follow. Without it, you can get lost in the wind and the big waves. I learned to live with this feeling, this longing for my home. I carry my country in my heart like a precious small jewel. It gives me strength, and it reminds me of who I really am. I found a small community of people from my own country. We meet, and we cook our food, and we speak our own language. For a few hours, we can feel like we are back at home again. It helps with the loneliness, but it is not the same thing. It is like looking at a picture of the sun on a cold day. It gives you some warmth, but it is not the real warm sun. The most important things in life are not things that we can buy. They are the love of our family and the feeling of a home. They are the simple joys that make our life worth living. I still have my nice apartment, and I still have my good car, but now I know their true value, and it is not very high. They are just tools. They are not the source of my real joy. My joy comes from the memories of my simple life back home. It comes from the letters that I get from my dear mother. It comes from the hope that one day I will go back to it. The journey taught me about myself and about what is important. It was a long and a hard road, but the lesson was very clear. A person needs their home, just like a flower needs the sun. I look at the sky here, and it is the same sky as at home, but the stars seem different. They seem colder and more distant. They do not tell the same stories as the stars I knew before. The wind here does not carry the same smells as it did home. It does not smell of the wet earth after a nice summer rain. It does not smell of the wood smoke from my neighbor's chimney. These are the small things that make a place feel like home. They are the details that we weave into the fabric of our heart, and when they are gone, we feel that a part of us is gone. The human heart is a strange thing. It wants what it knows. It finds comfort in the familiar and peace in what is old. It can be afraid of the new, even if the new seems better. I have a good life here, a safe life, with no big problems. But my heart is not at peace. It is always looking back. It is always searching for the road that will lead me back home. I dream of the day I will walk on those small streets again. I will breathe the air of my country and feel its sun on my skin. I will see the faces of my family, and I will be complete. This experience did not make me bitter. It made me much wiser. I learned that you do not know the value of what you truly have. You only know it when you lose it, and you cannot get it back. So if you are in your home now, with your family and friends, treasure every moment of it and hold it very close to you, because it is the most precious and valuable gift you will ever have. I have more money now, but I was richer when I was poor. I was rich in love and in laughter, and in a sense of my place. I was a part of something bigger, a part of a community. Here I am, just one person among many, many millions. I am a lonely number, a stranger in a very big crowd. There I was a son, a friend, a neighbor, and I was myself. The biggest lesson is that home is not just a place on a map. It is a feeling that you carry deep inside of your own soul. It is the music that your heart has been dancing to since birth. I know that one day I will return to where I truly belong. The journey to a new land was also a journey to myself. I had to leave my home only to understand what home was. And I understood that no place, no matter how good it is, no place in the entire world is like your own dear homeland. It is the only place where your heart can be truly at peace. Even with a better life, my heart knew it could not stay. A person belongs to their country, like a child belongs to a mother. This is a simple truth that my long journey taught my soul. I look at my father's old watch. It is still ticking on my wrist. It reminds me of him and of my home and of the time. It tells me that my time in this foreign land is not forever. My heart is a compass that is always pointing to my home. No matter where I go in the world, it shows me the way back. It is a faithful guide that will one day lead me there again. The dream of a better life is a very powerful, strong dream, but we must be careful what we wish for when we are young. Sometimes the best life is the one we have already been given. I learned that a man can leave his home, but his home never leaves him. It lives in his memories, in his heart, and in his dreams. No matter where life takes you, never forget that your true strength comes from the roots of your home and the love that lives within your heart. It is a part of him forever until his very last day. I hope this session was helpful. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting stories. Take care, everyone.